All right, well, we'll move on to a look at the international newspapers with Nicholas Rushworth. Hi there.
Hi to you, Kat.
And you're also starting us off with Turkey, that huge election.
Yeah, let's go right away to the Turkish paper, the Hurriyet Daily, which is one of the main papers in the country. And it has a comment piece saying that, well, the rise of Erdogan is over. There you can see that headline there. And the argument in that comment piece is very much that Recep Erdogan really sought to spell out his goal for a new constitution that would be a shift towards a presidential-style system and away from the parliamentary-style system that we know. And that piece there saying that voters rejected that out of hand, and he put his credibility on the line, and the answer was no.
And Turkey really is seen as such an important player on the international stage, increasingly, isn't it? This huge country. It's played a big role in Middle Eastern affairs, particularly in recent years. What kind of reaction are we getting from outside of Turkey?
Well, there is a reaction from the Financial Times in London, which is saying that what we've got here in the figure of Erdogan is actually a split personality. On the one hand, he's been a reformer in terms of politics, and for Turkey, he's won 10 electoral contests in a row, so he's a success in that respect. But on the other side, they call him a would-be sultan who is stalked by paranoia. There you can see the headline, Turks say no to his vaulting ambition. Now, the argument there is very much, well, now he's sort of maybe perhaps reached the height of his ambition. Will another person, such as the former president, Abdullah Gül, now come centre stage? Is there a possibility of him? Because we're going to have a messy coalition deal situation now coming on. Let's go to the Haaretz paper in Israel. There you can see its headline, very much dream to nightmare for Erdogan. The failure of his ruling AKP to win a majority has dealt a bitter blow to his dreams of ruling forever. There you can see that on the graphic there. So
not that he himself has ever said that.
No, not at all. But you wouldn't be surprised that Haaretz is saying that this Monday, that he would really be looking for a dictatorship role in Turkey.
All right, well, let's move on to another one of our top international news stories that we've been covering for you. We're talking about the G7 summit taking place in those very picturesque Bavarian Alps. We've enjoyed those pictures this morning, haven't we? But people keeping an eye on what's happening there very, very far away, including in China.
Well, where else to go but the China Daily's cartoon, which is taking a kind of distant look at this with the planet Earth there holding up a placard saying, yes, Ukraine crisis, yes, climate change, the Islamic State organization, help, we need help. But are we going to get it from this bunch of supermen and women? Angela Merkel is probably, her head is the most forlorn. François Hollande sort of in an Inspector Clouseau moment there, and David Cameron also a bit lost. Let's turn to one of the tweets that's going around on Twitter in terms of who is absent from that. Of course, we've got in the Bavarian hay, there is a stroll, but also a horse ride with the bare-chested Vladimir Putin, who, in terms of the press, is actually making a lot of noise, perhaps more noise than the G7 leaders are, about his sort of bid to a bit of divide and rule. He's cozying up to Rome, if we look at the paper, the next graphic, which shows him he's actually holding talks with Matteo Renzi this Wednesday, and he's basically trying to cozy up to him. Renzi, the only person who hasn't, among the G7 leaders, spoken out against Ukraine aggression, the events that Russia being accused of aggression in Ukraine. So Putin casting a large shadow there.
Indeed, with his absence. All right, well, we'll move on to football. We've talked so much about football in recent days, haven't we? We're not talking directly about the corruption scandal, though. Instead, we're talking sexism. This as the Women's World Cup kicks off in Canada.
Well, it kicked off, didn't it, in Edmonton on Saturday. And a couple of articles in the press about this saying that, well, now is the time with this FIFA scandal to really fix the system. And that includes an end to the sexism. What we've got there is this piece in the Gulf News saying, yeah, perhaps not a president for FIFA. That's in a view in another article, saying that what we do need is an end to misogyny, an end to sexism, in which, what is it, the statistics do the talking, where 89% of women in the football industry say they can't express the sexism that they're actually experiencing. 60% of them said that they've had sexism incidents. So really now a call for the women to come centre stage. Of course, that Football World Cup in Edmonton, really exciting. We'll be covering that a lot as well, I imagine.
Indeed, France will be playing their first match in the Women's World Cup tomorrow, so we'll have a little look ahead. Thanks very much for now. Nicholas Rushworth there with the International Press Review.